happening, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope your week is going well. Thought we'd do a little bill hunt. I did go out to get some halves and ended up with trying to get another flat box because they're starting to get circulated. And the one I got was all 2023 Ds. So I already searched that box through and got it in ready to go back. Didn't find any blank planchets, but you know, you gotta look. I found them before, so I thought we'd do some bills tonight. I could have got nickels, but we've done nickels the last couple of times, so we'll see how we can do with the dollar bills tonight. So that's where we're at. Let me see. I got some stuff I have not done yet. So number one, I must sign in to chat. Get you on the big screen over here where I can see you. So hope everybody is doing well. I see the Jolly Roger. I see Martin Bowen, William E. I'm going to run back down the full list here. All 10, 15 of you. Brian Jensen, Brian Robeson, Chicken Man Dan, Chew, Dad Spare Chain, Jim Thompson, KJ, Martin Bowen, Rolf, Sam Wilson, Shellbell, the Jolly Roger, Tom Thumb, and William E. and B.H. Ringer just popped in. So hope y'all are doing good. We are good to go. I'm just going to jump on off in this. So I got one more thing to do. I want to get that heart off the chat thing. So I got one more thing to do. We'll be good to go. Hello, Coin Buddies, cooking and listening, serving. Thank you, Valerie. We are almost ready to go, so hopefully we'll find some goodies in these ones. So they had some nice bills. I went by the LCS today. I did pick up some stuff that I hope you're interested in for the auction. It could be really good if somebody's looking for some stuff that I got. We'll see. I'm going to lower this down a little bit. If you get, hey, KCB, how are you? So that the bill, I can get a better look at the bills, hopefully. So bear with me just a second. Ignore the belly. So, there we go. So I got a call from my aunt today telling me that my dad had asked her to check in to get his eyes checked. He said that Saturday morning he had a brief little instance where he lost vision in his left eye for a few minutes all of a sudden. And she called me to say she had made him an appointment for July the something. And I'm like, that ain't going to work. I mean, losing vision like that is nothing to fool with. So, MLZB member for 7 months. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for maintaining your membership. I appreciate that. Let's see, Martin Bowen searched 2001 today and 1,005 10s and 20s. Did you find anything nice, though? So we're going to get started. And y'all let me know if you can see the bills good enough, if I need to do something to help with that. We are not in a hurry. We'll get through them as we get through them. I got my cheat sheet there on web notes and bar notes, so I can look for those without. I'm going to turn this other light off. Y'all let me know if that hurts the quality there. May even make it better because it's right in my eyes in this format. So anyway, let me Shellbell. No, it's not a good thing to ignore. You know, right? Yeah, Shellbell is well versed in that for sure. But they did an ultrasound on his, hey Scott H. They did an ultrasound. That's a cool looking bill. I don't know if they call it anything. That would have been cool if that was a 55. We could have had a 55, 66, 88, and 22 all in one bill. That would have been a cool looking one. 2013. We got a 2021, kind of rumpled up. Yeah, I went in, I went and got my box. I went by the LCS for a while. I had some time to spend before my dad's appointment, so I went by there and just looked through the bills. He doesn't keep them very well out where you can, like, at a glance see what he's got, which is kind of fun though, because part of the fun of collecting is hunting, you know. So why is that not doing any better than that? Oh well. We got a 38. Ooh, got our first star note, the very next one. So I'm gonna put them aside, and then maybe in the last little bit of the stream, we'll go through and look at them. There's one with a bunch of sevens: 47, 74, 77, 67. Bunch of sevens, but not in a row. There is one. Got like a little high on the 8 there, but nothing special. Whoop. Gabe, I hope you're doing well. Gabe is a super fan of the channel. Ron Pierce, how are you doing? If you're just coming in, I tried to get another box of flat box of $50, and they did not have the one I got. One, hey John Chum, the one I got was actually hey Elizabeth, was actually uncirculated 2023 Ds. So, but on a happy note, that was the last box in the vault, and they should be getting a hopefully get more boxes in by Friday. So hey, all in currency collecting and Hartford Junction, how are you guys doing? So hopefully I might have waded through hopefully all of those boxes with the new coins in it. It is a certain distribution number on the box. It seemed to always be those. So I wasn't really unhappy with her telling me that was the last box they had. So maybe we cleared all those new coins out. We can get a run of circulated boxes. There's our second star note. The 2017A, the first one, that's a nice crispy one. Got a single fold maybe across the back. One way I'm learning to grade notes is on their ability to stay crisp on your hand there. If they're hard folds, that would have folded right over. So we got a, what have I done? Could have swore. All right, well, I thought I had a doggone star note. I don't know what made me think that. I could have swore I saw it. Anyway, we got one. Maybe we'll get another one later. I don't know what I was thinking there, but I had lured myself right in. We're on the board. Yep, we got a star note in the bank to look at. 85, 82, 85, 72. 1757, 5780. He has macular degeneration, Scott H. And so we really don't know what caused his vision in just that one eye to go away for a brief little bit. But, you know, and I don't know, at 82, he's not really a feeble of mind. He is getting to the point where he repeats himself often and what have you. But generally, you know, his overall awareness and everything is good. But he told me that something was wrong. He wasn't sure, and he said he just, you know, he felt like the issue was in his left eye, and he said he covered his right eye, and when he did, that he lost all vision. He couldn't see anything out of his left eye with his right eye covered. So so I kind of kicked that up the emergency board and called his doctor, and they got him in to see a eye specialist tomorrow. So we got an appointment in the morning, but everything seems to be back to normal now, you know. But also, they had started him, hey Coin Junkie, they had started him on a new medication for his blood pressure, and I had concerns about that too. Because they said it takes a couple of weeks for it to get in his system, and so I just wanted to make sure thank you, Martin. Wanted to make sure that there was not some type of medicine that could be causing an issue. There is one almost with consecutive 7s. He's got 4 in a row, but not quite a keeper. So they took him off that medication for the moment. We're going to go see the doctor tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get some better answers. But overall, he's in fairly good health, you know, for that age, except for his vision. You know, aside from his vision, he hears much better than I do. Matter of fact, I forgot to put my hearing aids in, and we were sitting in the waiting room. And I told him that they would call me up when I needed to do the paperwork. And I told him to let me know, hey Frostbite, to let me know if they called us. Yeah, I do know the medication. It was fludrocortisone, Fludro cortisone, 0.1 milligram. All encouraging. It happened. I talked myself into thinking I found something I didn't. I don't know what happened there. I'm not going to lie. I would have bet big money on the fact that I had seen a star note. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, he seems to be fine. He's not feeling any adverse effects or anything. Yep, Paul's got a big auction coming up this weekend. So y'all make sure that you check in with Paul's stream this weekend. We will hopefully be doing, or I was in kind of a quandary. I, of course, want to stream this weekend, but I was checking the coin show calendars, and there's a show in Trustful Saturday, which is not but less than an hour, a little over an hour maybe, from my house. But then there's another one next weekend in Georgia, so in Atlanta. Hey, Jim. Yeah, we got him right off that. So frostbite. So we will. We're not going to. He's not going to take any more of that until we get his rest of his stuff checked off. Thank you for checking into that. He. Yeah. Now he takes vitamins. He's been doing that for years, but it had just progressed to the point that he can still see if he turns his head, you know, where he can kind of use his peripheral vision to look at what he needs to look at. Because, I mean, he watches TV and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know if he watches it as much as he listens to it. Oh, right, cool. Well, his progressed to the point that it became a serious issue for him, but You know, I remember they had this old coot doctor, eye doctor that Daddy went to, and he said, well, Mr. Cargile, I got good news and bad news. He said, well, what's the bad news? He said, well, the bad news is you have macular degeneration. He said, the good news is you'll probably die before you go blind. I'm like, well, all righty then. That's a heck of a way to break news to you, but anyway, thank you, Frostbite. Oh, wow, I heard that. I'd be fried too. So anyway, we had, I got all that done. I went by the bank. I picked up a box of coins for nothing. And I got those unwrapped and thrown in the bucket ready to go back. Yeah, and another thing for that is to make sure you wear sunglasses outside every day, no matter if it's cloudy or whatever. I've heard that wearing sunglasses is a good preventive measure for macular degeneration. I get checked, of course, because my grandfather had it also. So my grandfather and my dad had it. My stepdad had it, of course, unrelated, but he had it pretty bad also. So it is a thing. You know, I quit smoking a long time ago. I know that has a lot of issues to go along with eye problems. So anyway, it's just like me and Martin's been saying, it's getting old ain't for sissies. That's a wore out one. 12366905. Hartford Junction had to go to glasses and loot in the last few years. The date, yeah. I'm going actually the 29th, I think, to get my glasses. The last few times I have been to the eye doctor, they keep saying that you know, my vision's not changed a whole lot. So I've gone for a few years now without updating my glasses, and so they're so scratched up now. I need to. PTF stacking, join the membership. Thank you so much, PTF. I appreciate you. I give you a little hint on the things that I picked up. If you like Dansko albums, if you're hunting for Dansko albums, I might be your huckleberry. I'll just say that. I got a really good deal on a bunch of Dansko albums, so I'm going to offer those up coming up in the auctions and what have you. So if you are in need of a Dansko album for your collection, then I might have what you need. I just might have what you need. Lucky James Eller turned 50 in October. I'm falling apart. Frostbite, looking for a Merc Dime book. $2912. Yeah, well, you might want to tune in one day on the channel on the stream Saturday there, Mr. Frostbite, because I might be able to have one for you. There's a 2013. No, that is about the only one that I don't have, BH Ringer, is typeset. Okay, all right. Here's 83578374. Yeah, he is. I tell you what, that is a hard-working man is able to do all that work and work too. I'm assuming he's. I don't know if he took maybe an extended amount of time off or something. That's an interesting note there. The number looks cool, but it's not a keeper. All right, well, send me an email, and I'll see what we can do. Paul, spare time? I didn't see you come in, Paul. Cool. How you doing, Chuck? Or Paul, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad to see y'all getting stuff back in. I guess, was today pickup day, Paul? Did they get your coins this week? I'm assuming they did. Although you have enough stuff. Oh, well, thank you, PTF. You can let it run out when you want to. I appreciate it. 489726 2017. Another 2017. Got one star note so far, so not a killer amount of fines, but one fine better than no fines at all. We will look that star note up after this strap, and because that way, if it's not a keeper, I can. Although I'll probably keep it anyway, but I'd like to know if it's got a rarity factor figuring in. Pick up day tomorrow, Grammy. Ooh, Grammy finished cookies. All righty. I thought I smelled something. Thought I smelled cookies. Camera can't decide what it wants to do today. Oh, nice. 14D. Sweet. Those are all the same numbers. It's kind of 0917 0791. It's got all the numbers. They're just not right, quite in the right order to be a cool note, but they're there. All we needed was one little extra switch around on the numbers there, and we would have been there. I'm going to look this star note up right quick. If it's anything to worry about, I'll bring you in. Give me a second to get it punched in. $1 2013. note. It's just a regular one, run-of-the-mill star note. So on we go. On we go. I'm gonna replace that. I'm gonna try to start, I think, keeping the star notes. I mean, you know, it's like they say, it's going to be an extremely long time before the fact that they don't make star notes anymore actually impacts their value, but it will one day. One day they will be a rarity for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a jump start on that. I know my kids, when I'm dead and gone, they're gonna open up a box or something and like think they struck it rich, and there's gonna be like $2,001 bills in there. All right, strap one down. How we doing on likes? I haven't put any together, but I certainly can. We got 51, so let's go ahead and get the 50 likes going. Appreciate that, everybody. And giveaways, 50 likes. I'll put together a couple of dimes for you. Just happen to have some right here. We got some pretty nice little, that's a 65, 63. Not in bad shape. 63. And another 63. Both from Denver. Both from Denver. Namaste, how are you doing? We're going to stream about 2 hours. I'm going to try to keep, unless it's a one of the like Wednesday afternoon when I start at 4. We could go longer on those streams once Rick gets back in action. But yep, thank you for coming in tonight. Namaste. But as long as we're doing this 6 o'clock thing, I like to try to stay on a schedule for bedtime. So we will leave it at, got 1 minute 44 seconds to go. We'll leave it doing the 2 hours on these kind of nights. I'm going to at least get these turned the right way. While this run, got 1 minute 21 seconds to get in on the giveaway. .52 seconds. So he had some nice builds I looked at today. One I've been trying to identify for about 30 minutes or so before the stream started. I had my big book out and was trying to identify it. I could not find any information on it, or I couldn't find that series of notes. It's a New Orleans banknote. And but it looked to be in pretty good condition. 17 seconds to go. So I was trying to look up. That's what I did while I was waiting on my dad to appointment to get a little closer before I went over. Was I went through his little stack in the drawer of all of his older bills, and then I took pictures of the ones I was interested in. Hey, Valerie Bowen. I took one of the pictures of the ones I was interested in, and then that way I can come home and research them, and then go back and be able to make him an offer on them that we can dicker around with a little bit. All right, we're going to pick a winner, WalkerMagnet. You got me looking. Paul, if you want one, he has a few. Yeah, no, if you want one, I tell you what, Paul, I've got one if you're interested. I'll put it that way. It's not the greatest grade. I think it was a fine 13 or something like that, but all those elements are there. But he has a couple, and one that's in pretty good shape that I could pick up if you're interested. So let me know. Picking a winner here. Picking a winner. Going to be Vincent C. is going to walk away with a couple of cute little Rosies. But yeah, I looked at one today. I've got several, and or two or three. I say several, but I am trying to remember on the giveaways. I'm going to start working on those next week and get all of the giveaways mailed sometime next week. All right, on to this. Let me see, Paul, if you don't mind, if you're in the chat, I'll show you the one I've got. And I was actually thinking about putting it into auction, and because I'd like to upgrade it. So this is the one I got, and you can let me know later. But I was going to put this one in the auction. I went ahead and had it graded because I just think that's the thing to do with these older currency notes. But so I went ahead and had it graded. But it is a choice fine 15s or a fine 15, but it has all the elements there. In a graded note. So if you're interested in a Black Eagle, I had already kind of thought about maybe parting with this one through the auction process. But if you'd like to send me an email, if you're really hankering to have one in your collection, I got one you can consider there. So we'll put that off to the side. But I had just told Martin the other day that I was thinking about listing that in the auction. Why we all of a sudden got a shadow? All right, Mr. Paul Spare Time. We can do that. And like I said, he has a nice one at the coin shop, and I did not take any pictures of it, but I can usually get things from him, around the gray sheet price. So, but if you just want one for your collection and you're not really ultra concerned about it being AU or one of the little better grade, then I've got one. I've got one for you. I am really kind of interested. I'm really, kind of evolving, I think, if I could use that without too much presumption, kind of evolving in my collecting to the point where I'm not, I've never considered myself to be a stacker, but I do have accumulated, but I'm kind of the point now where I'm more focused on individual pickups and coins, just to upgrade an album or something of that nature. And then I'm trying to collect this currency with some sort of a plan. I'm trying to collect by the FR numbers so that I can kind of have a system in place for what I'm looking for, so that I can, collect with some thought. Oh, they are beautiful, beautiful. One day, one stream, we ought to spend some time just looking through my currency book and appreciating the artwork that they put into these early notes. that has really what has gotten me to be kind of all gaga on the currency. And you know, to me, it just is a marvel. Nice collector, Rick. It is unbelievable to me that these things, you know, you think about a Morgan dollar or a Walker or whatever surviving from the 1800s and still be in the condition you can find them in, but you know, these bills, and they're not made of paper, it's a linen blend of some kind or another, but still for that cloth to have existed from some of the years that I've been seeing them and still be in that condition is, to me, a crazy deal. Oh, that is, Jim, it is so beautiful. You are welcome for that, Vincent C. I'm sorry, I just saw your comment over on the other page, so get back to my other chat. It's actually easier for me to watch the main screen doing it in this format, so. Oops. Wrong stack. $2017. Oh, well, yeah, premiums are a killer. Yeah, it dipped below, yeah, that's right, James Eller. It dipped below 30 briefly. It hit 29 the other day, but it was like minutes later, it was back over the $30 mark. I downloaded the Kitco app to my phone so that I can look at it easier. I usually just look at AppMec, but I've been told that it's not really the current, the current iteration of the prices. Starika, how are you doing? Doing a little bill search. There's another one that has all the, oh, is that a radar? 40696904? Is that not a radar? Oh, 4096. That one number's out of place though, right? 40696904. Yeah, the very close, right? The 9 messed me up. Doggone it. Man, that was close. That was so close. I'm not as slick with the stuff as Pa is with the currency. He has been hunting so many. I'm sorry I can't stay up for the nighttime streams. 78898818. He also had a couple of bills that had printing errors. One of them was a 5, and on the reverse of it, it didn't start the print until almost an inch past the edge. I'm not sure what their value is, though. Looking at it, it's it's hard to, he had a couple, we had another one that had like a clip, but the edge of the next note or whatever was still attached to it. Yeah, this is kind of like, I'm doing the notes kind of like I did when I wanted to learn to fish with a bait caster reel back in my bass fishing days, my early days. And man, I took one rod with me. I took one rod with me, and it was on a bait caster, and I fought it all day long till I could throw it without messing it up. So that's how I'm doing bills. Lost my power last night. Had some storms come through. Even though we have underground utilities, it's above ground at some point, so we lost power for probably about an hour. I actually went home with it still off, and then, of course, about the time you get a little sleepy, it comes back on. You got to get up and turn all the lights off. That sucks. So next Saturday, got 6 $1 star notes, 1 $10, and 2 $20 star notes today. I got $100 star note, but I'm not keeping that. That's too much. That's too much money to hold on to for a star note, in my opinion. In my opinion. So next Sunday, I will more than likely be traveling to Atlanta. I don't know if I'm going the night before or if I'm going to wait and go the day of. This one, well, I've got one now, the one that I had graded. Thank you, Hartford Junction. I've got a graded $100 star note from the 20s. All right, Paul, take care. Tell Grammy I said hi. Tell her thank you for the cookies and all. She's been working hard. Not a lot of goodies in this. This was from the credit union. I've gotten bills from one of the area banks that I use, and they weren't really good. And these bills aren't super nice either, as far as goodies. Yeah, that's the one drawback, Collector Rick, in my bill collecting is doing sometimes the seals. Like I can't tell the difference. I think that's red, but I can't really tell the difference between the red and green. I can see the blue seals, but so some of them, you know, you need to be aware of the seal color, and so that can throw me off. Green seals and red seals are ones that I would have a hard time seeing. Oh, I just read your chat there, JC like Pam, and I read it fast, and it looked like you said you traded 5 $100 star notes for a box of nickels, and I'm thinking, man, I don't think that was a good deal. Don't think you got a good deal on that. My air conditioner's not come on all day. It's been overcast and rainy here. Silverman 92, check him out. I love stormy days. I don't mind them at all. I like to hear the thunder rumble and what have you. Don't like severe weather, of course, but the only drawback is my dogs have to go in and out a few times a day, and they track all that back into the house. So it's cleanup time after that. Although I get to the point, Elizabeth Flood hits the slots. I get to the point where I'm just like, as long as it's not pooling up, I just don't worry about it till the weather dries up, and then I clean the floor and all. But so fun. Hoping that my double stack boxes will be better circulated than they were last weekend. We did find silver, a couple silver, 1 silver, 2 silver, I can't remember. But we did find some Shine Y 40%ers, only 1 or 2, but still I kept kidding around like, finding 240s in a box now is like a collection dump. Yeah, that's usually what I do, Elizabeth. I turn the air on at night and cool the house down to sleep. And then during the day, I'd let the sun warm it up. And a lot of times my air won't come back on again that day. Sometimes if it does, when it gets really hot, it might come on mid-afternoon. Save me on the old power bill. I'm hoping it'll take another dip. I've saved 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it was 70 here today, but there was just no sunshine with it. last bill. That was not a good strap there at all. We had one almoster, and nothing to go with it. One almoster. We will just run these like they are. I'll just flip them as we get them. So what are y'all's opinions on the star notes? You know, when they don't have any rarity or whatever, are you keeping them? Are you spending them? On the dollars, I won't go any higher than the dollar, but oh, okay, all right. The more you know. Thank you, Martin. Brian does not search bills. I think it's a nice change of pace every now and then, Brian. And they're much easier to get than coins, you know, and there is some value there. A lot of these notes, like we were talking earlier about the radars and consecutive numbers and that kind of stuff. Martin found a killer bill the other day with like 174. It was serial number 174, I believe. And that's the lowest serial number I have ever seen found in a search. Yeah, now, you know, I did 195. I was close. I was close. But I did go through at one time. I had so many, and I did go through and take out some of the poor condition ones, and I did turn those in. So sometimes you have to do that every now and then. Rebalance, kind of like, you know, like you said, investing. Sometimes you have to rebalance your accounts. Oh, nice. Namaste. Yeah, I see if there's any in it. I've got a radar that I found quite by accident. I was in the kitchen and Hannah had left some dollars on the counter from some change that she had gotten or whatever, and so of course I picked them up to learn. There you go, William E. I picked them up just to check the serial numbers. Hey, Scott Christensen. And I found a radar, my first ever radar note. Yeah, that's me too, Hartford Junction, but I'm kind of, I probably not have been in the business as long as some of you have been, but my interest in pure coins has kind of waned over the last 4 years or so, and kind of really catching fire with the currency. Really had no idea, and actually it's all NetTheme's fault. If y'all know NetTheme, you see him in the stream, you tell him I said it was all his fault. I had never looked at currency. I walked by currency at the coin shows, and I went to Denver to visit with them and go to a coin show, and the first table we walked up to, he was kind of a currency guy, and so he started dealing with him on a bill that he was trying to get, and so I ended up picking up one myself, and that was a fatal mistake. You know, sometimes that first step can be a fatal mistake. True that, Martin Bowen. Unless you could get one consecutive numbers that was in a good spot. Yeah, I did. I did. But you know, the thing that I kind of voiced to Allison was that now, and you know, even though I say this, you still got to keep things in perspective, of course. But you know, in a hobby like this, while collecting in itself may not pay for the hobby, unlike some other hobbies, what we're collecting has a value, even if it's face. So you know, you're not ever really going to be on the short end of that stick. You always have a little bit of value built into it just because of what we're doing here. Hey, J-Dub, just started currency collecting himself. That's a cool deal. Yeah, the one of the positives about the currency searching is that they're easier to get, like I said earlier. As long as you give them a little bit of heads up. I told the lady at the credit union that I wanted $400 in ones, and she had said I needed to give her about 30 minutes. So I went and had a bite to eat, and then went back and picked them up. She had them ready. 7 o'clock. But yeah, I was all set to get some shipping. I got a little bit ready to go, but I was gonna buckle down and get that all took care of today. And then my dad's issues crept up, and next thing I know, I was on and off the phone all afternoon trying to get doctor's appointments set up. So hopefully everything will come back as just nothing of major import. We're hoping for that anyway. 6 o'clock somewhere, Hartford. Many years ago, I had a chance to buy a $500 bill for $5.50. Yeah, I know, man. Don't you ever. I had a guy at work told me he never produced it. He was never able to produce it, but he told me that his aunt bought man, that was almost a really cool one. Look at that, 03, but 62, 62, 62. That would have been cool, a cool binary, and it could have all been 62s. That would have been cool. Yeah. Case in point is I think it was John Bryan or somebody they just got cut off from the a repeater. Thank you, Shellbell. They just got cut off from the coin machine. So I try to do everything I can to take care of that machine. Don't dump dirty coins or damaged coins, or I'll clean out the little coin tray when I use it. 5785, 7687. I don't know, that looked weird. But I do like my coins. I'm glad that so far, knock on wood, that I am still able to get coins to hunt. I wouldn't want to do bills all the time, but they are a nice fill-in for when the coin side is not cooperating. 9339-9440. Some of them, yeah, they're not in bad shape. Some of them are heavily circulated, but overall they're not in bad shape. They got some fold, maybe a single fold. You know, I guess that's the good thing about the small notes, is that the fact that they're small enough that when they were in a wallet, most of the time they probably only saw, a single fold in a billfold in a wallet. But back in the old days, to carry one of those horse blankets, it was not unusual to see. It was not unusual to see three folds vertically, and then maybe even a horizontal fold down the middle. So had them big wallets, yeah. I don't know about you guys, but anytime I'm watching like a period movie, like a Western or something, when they're handling money from that era, and I see them, and I'm quite sure that they're probably replicas or something in the movies, but still, you see them pull out those big notes or that kind of stuff. It's kind of makes you want to try to figure out what they were using, what type of note it was, or call them travel wallets. Got my package today. You are welcome. Thank you, Michael Erickson, for that generous thing you did. You did it. I was there. I've got some more be going out tomorrow. Although my dad's appointment's at 9:40, so I don't know. I may try to get everything ready to ship tomorrow, and then get everything in the mail Thursday. That might be what happens. PTF in the house. Oh, I got the yawns. Oh, going downhill. I tell you what, when you're lucky enough, blessed enough, let me say, to be able to go to bed every night on the, we got another star note. It is a star note. I am looking at the star. So we do have a star note to look at after this strap. Hello, Paul Abram. And a big blanket hello to all your peeps, friends, and family members. You can't beat the old stuff. I got like I was going to finish off last night the Goliath series. I was less than 2 episodes away, and the power went off. So I had to delay the finishing of Goliath, the first season, to a later date. And that's kind of a cool one almost. That 6 had been a 7. It's a trinary. I don't keep trinaries, but that would have been a cool note if that 6 had been a 7. But it wasn't, so we will move on. I saw a star on that one. But I saw a star earlier that wasn't there, so I don't know what to think about that. I meant to, with all the stuff going on, I meant to cancel my Comcast today, and I never got around to it. The AT&T has been holding up pretty well since last week. We're at almost a full week on the fiber internet, so it seems to be doing all right. I'm get rid of that other bill and just pay the one. I'm glad I didn't get $500 worth. I tell you what we may do if we finish just a little bit early. I may get my big bill book out, and we can look at some of the artwork that just has captivated me with these bills. You're funny, Paula. Well, you're about right. So is that a birthday note? I know it's not in order, but it would be. No, that's not a birthday note. Not a birthday note. Meteor shower tonight. We won't be able to see it here, Valerie. It is nothing but clouds here in Alabama tonight. Oh yeah, they're expensive, but me and Martin were talking about. See, I need to look that one up. Me and Martin were talking about it today, and if you minded your manners and only bought like one super nice bill a year or something like that, and you spend it on a good quality note, then you could build a pretty nice collection over the years. Woo. That one has a 300. Let me switch the window. This one has a 300 run size, so it is in the middle of the heat zone. So and it's not in too terrible a shape. 300,000 run size. That's a pretty good one, right? That's a pretty good one. Need to get another dollar out. Replace that one. Check the coolness. Important note. Coolness index 54. Let me go back. 54.9%. So-so rating. So anyway, I haven't never really looked at that, Martin. Thank you for pointing that out to me. I will start doing that. I will start looking at that. All right, one strap to go, ladies and gentlemen. One strap to go. One ringy dingy. Hey, Nick. Here's a worn out one, 2013. Got a 1939 on it. 9308. That one's a limp one though. That one looked like it'd been washed a few times. Washed a few times. Tom Thumb, I hope you are doing well. Oop, another star note. So I guess, you know, if we find another one, we will have averaged one star note per strap. What is the averages those of you that hunt bills are seeing on star notes? How many star notes a strap do you get find in your area? Cool, Martin. Find one per $100, so one per strap. So if we can find one per strap, we are kind of on line with what others are finding. $8873. Kind of a bunch of singles there, but I need to go. I tell you what, I was talking with my brother-in-law just the other day, and he's just retired a couple months ago and is in the middle of a lot of projects and stuff, but he still means to have me up there to spend a few days knocking around the farm in Tennessee. Will be some prime areas to hunt. So I have not swung it in quite a while. I need to. It was several months, 3 or 4 months ago maybe, though. I took it out to a local park for a little bit with my new Nocta pinpointer that y'all so graciously donated in for, and I found a couple of old iron chunks and what have you, but it wasn't really a great place to hunt. It was close to the house, so I went and gave it a whirl. Yeah, I know it's harder to find. I mean, now understand I haven't been doing that forever. I was, somewhat hardcore about it for a little while, but kind of cooled off after when you find 87,000 bottle caps, it's kind of easy to get disenchanted. So, but anyway, I started out strong and kind of let it die a little bit. So I need to get back on it, but oh no, yeah, metal detecting. Vincent C. been a member for 5 months. Thank you, Vincent C. I've only deer hunted once or twice in my life. I've never pulled the trigger on a deer. I got uncles that would be glad to carry me, but I don't feel like fooling with it, and I don't like to hunt just to shoot something. That's what I've always liked about bass fishing and fishing in general, is that you can generally, if you do things right, you can just turn them loose after a good fight, and it's a win-win situation for you and the fish. For you and the fish. There's another wore out one, 2009. Hey, Brown Sugar. Hope you were able to make some good use out of them Ikes. That's a white knuckle experience. If you've ever get the chance to visit with Pa, coming off that hill down his driveway is a white knuckle experience. Jim Thompson said, I enjoyed relic hunting back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah, now I found a bunch of, I did find a spot over close to the university campus that I hit a mother load of Civil War area bullets, the 3-ringers, and found a musket ball or two. It was, and I told the story before, so I apologize if I'm boring somebody of repeating a story very often, but the little area that I was hunting at was, I had been seeing it from the road every day. I would drive down the main thoroughfare here in town, and it had a huge pine tree located in the center part of this little grassy spot, probably less than an acre, probably wasn't a full acre. And they had put slag gravel down on a big part of that. Used to, that was a big open field. That whole thing was grass, and I would have loved to have been able to hit that before they put all that slag down. But anyway, anyhow, I got up one morning, made my mind up, and I rode over there. That was back when I had my first detector, was a Garrett Ace 250. But man, that thing found those Civil War bullets. They would ring in a certain area around a nickel, 19 was the number on the next detector that I went out there with. But I found, I don't know, 7, 8, or 9 that day. And an old fork also that I was able to trace the history on. And that was kind of fun too, finding something, you know, that you can do a little research on and find some history associated with it if you've got enough clues on it. So that was interesting too as a part of that hunt. 2275, 2745. Well, these have not been the best straps in the world. Hopefully we will be back in action Saturday morning, so make sure you check in Saturday. I will more than likely have the stream scheduled and everything on Friday along with the auction items. Jim Thompson, I worked in Manassas, Virginia, near the battlefield and campsite. Found tons of stuff. My wife's family home site was in Stafford County on top of an 1863 winter campsite. Oh, that's awesome. The area that my brother-in-law has got at his farm has a couple of old foundations and wells on it. And then he bought an additional 25 acres that adjoined that property. And it has the original 1800s, early 1900s buildings still standing there. So obviously it's got to be a good place to hunt. Man, that was almost through there. Man, if that one, well, no, it would still be that would have been a binary if that one had been an 8 or a 3, but pretty cool looking numbers there. I can see where 8, I would think, would be a popular set of numbers to get, all 8s. So anyway, as far as we know, it's never been hunted. He's owned it for several years, and to our knowledge, it's never had a metal detector swept over it. Of course, you don't know that for sure, but we're hoping to have first access to some of that. It'll be a good time to visit with him anyway, but yeah, you know, by the time I really started getting into yeah, I think I've heard that before, Jolly Roger. Before I really got into metal detecting, you know, they kind of locked down all the historic sites. Although I always entertained the thought of doing like Treasure Charger. If you don't know about him, he used to be in the chats a lot. I don't see him much anymore, but he did a lot of water hunts. And we have an old creek here in town, or in Tuscaloosa County, that we used to swim at when we were children. And I thought, man, that would be a good place to do a water hunt. Night at 7:30ish or whatever, we can do that. I know it gets late, especially you East Coast people, starting to edge toward bedtime. So I don't want to keep you up if there's not interest in what we're looking at. We can look at some of the kind of, we'll call it the wish list. Martin says he's interested. It won't be long. We'll be 7:30 finishing this up, so we can spend 20 minutes looking at the book if everybody wants to, and as I said, kind of looking at the wish list for currency. It does pay to invest in the resources and things to identify a lot of these notes, because there's you can find them. I have a gray sheet subscription. You can find them on the website. The gray sheet does some currency, but some of the older stuff, yeah. Yeah, I passed Young Buck about 50 cents ago. Yep, 007. Well, no, that's 077. Got to make sure the air kicked on. I haven't heard it run. All right. Last one. They stamped the strap holder, and they bled over. They missed the mark a little bit. All right, let me check this. This is a 2017 A. It is a B. (0805) 6667. It is a regular. We'll look at how cool it is. That Martin Bowen, ooh, got an 81.5%. 81.5% coolness factor. Why is that? It's almost cool. So we went from so-so earlier to almost cool rating, 81.5%. What makes the serial number special? Contained one triple together. Only 5.4% of 8-digit numbers have this combination. So as I said, the more you know. We'll be keeping it anyway. Throw it over there. Let me get another $1 out to put in the kitty. Got to keep current. I took $500 back the other day, and I was right on the money. So it did have a little bit of a coolness factor to it. Thank you, Martin, for showing me that. I've never clicked that button. All right, that concludes the bank straps for the night. Let's see, where's my book? So I have a couple of references. I wish I need to do me another camera setup so I get a full screen. I can do a full screen of my desktop. So I use the green sheet if I'm buying, because if I can find it and identify it in the green sheet, it gives me the dealer wholesale prices. So I kind of got in my mind an idea of maybe what they paid for it, and I can make a reasonable offer to them on the note. This is one that I was showing earlier. It is a 1899 silver certificate. They call it the Black Eagle. It is a beautiful note. I've got a few of these. Kind of really got interested in them. But and then you can look those things up. But you know what? The artistry that has gone into these is just outstanding. This book does a great job. If you're interested in paper money, you can find these used. So you don't have to get a brand new one, current edition. But you can get a used one for a little less money. But it is a very, very, very good resource for bills. It goes all the way, and it goes all the way from colonial and continental currency, treasury notes. It has a full listing of the large size notes. And then it goes into fractional currency. You have the small notes. So you got legal tender silver certificate, all of those. The World War II emergency notes, those are cool. So it even has stamps and Confederate notes. So it's got a lot of, and it has an error, some pages on errors. So let's get right on into the really cool stuff. This is Mexican-America war currency. You know it's rare when it says only one known. So if you are interested in that, one thing you need to do, in my opinion, I use PMG for my grading service. And you don't have to be a member to access this. But if you go on to PMG, let me go back to my other page. Let's walk you through that. So you go to PMG, and there are paper money grading, and you click on the paper money grading tab, and you go down to grading scale, and click on that, and it will give you the grading scale and how PMG attributes each bill. So you can see here for I don't think I've ever seen a 70. I have some bills that graded in the 60s. One thing you will see on the grading scale is the EPQ. That is a very sought after designation. You can only get that designation at grades above 64. So to get the EPQ designation, which means exceptional paper quality, you have to get above a 64 to get that. Now, for a bill to grade that high, let me see if I can take the dogs out for just a minute. I'll be right back. Y'all bear with me just a minute. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So if you see a bill that did not, if you see a bill that has a fold in it, and you're wondering about the quality, well, as soon as you see that fold, you realize at that point that it will not grade above like a 64. So a 63, 62, 61. these are all those grades from 60 to 64 would be uncirculated, but you can't have any folds to get a grade like that. So if you drop down to a 58, hey Southeast Stacker, if you drop down to a 58, it'd be an AU, about uncirculated. It can have a single fold that crosses the design. So it could basically be folded in half and still have that fold and get about a AU grade. So anything above 58 though can't have any folds. So if you're looking at a note and you can see a fold, a lot of times the folds are more visible on the reverse. So turn it over. You can also do, like I said earlier, you can hold it, take the bill and balance it in the middle on your finger, and if it will, a lot of times it will, it will bend on the fold. So it's a way to tell if there's a fold in it. But anyway, that's the best source I have found, and it's fairly detailed, and you would be amazed at the amount of damage and things that can be on a bill and still get a pretty good grade. I mean, a very fine, let's say a very fine 30, VF30, will be lightly circulated and may have some soiling. There will typically be 7 to 10 folds. So you can find a, Black Eagle with 7 to 10 folds and still get a very fine grade on it. The bills to cost, I can show you that while we're here. We can go to submit and services and fees. They've changed their pricing recently. So I use either the standard, which is, the economy, which is any bill, U.S. world note up to $1,000 value, not the $1,000 denomination, but $1,000. Hey, Michael Erickson, I hope the game went well. I do. I can trot some of those out, William, if you'd like me to. I've got several in graded condition. But so $37 for most bills, all that I've had graded. But now they have this new feature called Fast Track. And so if you're willing to pay and got whooped, it happens. It happens. I hope Noah is taking it well. I think that's your son's name. I apologize. I'm awful with names. But so $37. If it's a modern bill, 57 to present, it's $23. But you can now do a fast track. So if you send a bill in, it would be $37 plus the 15. And if you fast track it, you get it back in 17 days, thereabouts. I would hope if you fast track one that you get it back in 17 days if I'm paying extra money. And if you don't fast track, it's at least 35 days, and that's working days. You have to keep that in mind too. That's working days, and not business. That's business days, not including weekends. So it can take a while to get them back, like all grading services, but that's where we're at with the bills. So as far as that, so do we want to look at what I have graded, or do we want to continue with the book? I don't have a ton of graded notes. I can show you what I have. Oh, there's my box. All right, let me trot out my little collection so far. I haven't decided what to do with this one yet. I do have a $20 gold certificate that's not in bad shape. That FR number too, always remember that is how you identify. That's the Freeburg number, and that identifies the note, usually based on the signatures. The signatures have a lot to do. Jolly Roger, I can. I've got some that I'm considering sending, and I will be buying some at some point that I know I'll send. So if I get ready to send one, if you want me to let you know, that is a 28. Yep, a 28 gold certificate. So this is one that I have not had graded. So it is a 1917 $1 note. I haven't had this graded. I don't know if I will. The quality, it's probably down around a fine 13, like that other note that I had. But it is of the same year as the $2 notes I'll show you shortly. That I've started collecting. But as a 1917 $1 legal tender, so that's important too, to know what genre you're looking at, whether it's Federal Reserve or, all right, Paula, sleep good, a Federal Reserve note or a legal tender note. Also knowing the signatures also is important. Star notes bring a lot more value. A lot of times you can tack $100 onto a note if you get a star note. There's the reverse. Let's see, let me. There we go. There's the reverse. And that's what we're talking about. That's a small sampling of the artwork that goes into these large horse blanket notes. And then I had Jim Cantor sent me this. I thought was pretty cool. I never seen a graded silver certificate with a dragon on it. Allison would have loved that. So that was cool of him to do that. So this is the graded notes I have. There is the fine 15 note that I showed Pa earlier. He may be interested in that. It looks a lot better on the camera in my eyes than it does up close, but so that note has some wear issues and folds and things, so I got a fine 15 on it. This is one of the $2. This kind of goes with the $1 note that I was showing you. These are the same era, 1917. And these are some that I'm trying to collect by FR number. So FR 57, for instance. I got another one I'll show you in a minute that is one of the other in that. So there's the reverse on the $2 1917 legal tender note. That was the note. One of these is the note I bought in Denver that got that thing got me started. This is a note that I bought on Heritage Auctions. Just got a really good, I bid it on it with a really low ball and it went. So, of course, I had to pay buyer's premium, but it's a beautiful note and it's got a choice about new grade. So that's almost like an AU. So let's go back to our grading service and see. Choice, I guess choice AU, about new AU 58. So it can have a fold, but I don't see a fold on this one. So I don't know. They might have left some meat on the bone on that one. But that's a Merchants Bank, Kansas $2 bill from Leavenworth, Kansas. I thought that was cool. And then the next one is another. So we looked at the previous one was a Freeburg 57, and this is a Freeburg 60 note. You can see the difference in the signatures. Spillman White of T.H. Burke. and and T.H. Burke. So this is the Freeburg 57, and then that's the 60. So I don't know, I'm kind of happy with the grades on those. They are really cool notes. They do have folds, like this one has a fold across the center long ways and a fold across the middle. So that in itself lends it to being around a 30. See, I don't know. I think that might have been a problem. One thing they do on these notes when they grade, they give you a grade. I got a straight grade on this, very fine 30. But then they note errors on the back. So this one has some pinholes. And I have been talking with people about, things that you need to have when you go to, if you go to I don't know what I did with my flashlight. But if you go to to a coin show and you're looking through all of the bills and things, you need to have a flashlight, because this one has pinholes and I have not put a light on it. I was going to do that. I don't know what I did with my flashlight. I had it. It may be by the bed. Give me just a second. So if you're going to go to a coin show and look at notes ungraded, then it's important, I think, I've learned, to have a flashlight with you so that you can put it behind the bill and look for imperfections. So I would think maybe the pinholes may be located, and again, understand too that they're looking with magnification and probably on a light table and all kind of things to help them identify. But somewhere on this deal, somewhere they said it had pinholes. So you will see that on the back of the bill sometimes. You will get one back and it'll say pinholes. Now this was one of my better bills. This is probably the best one that I have had graded yet. It is a 1923 silver certificate, FR 238, with Wood's white signature, and I got a choice uncirculated 63 with exceptional paper quality. So that is always something you want to look for if you can find one. Very, very nice like that. So no fold whatsoever. Just a super, super nice horse blanket silver certificate. But yeah, that's my best graded bill right there. I did get this one. This is another 59. So I've got 57 and 60. And here's my FR 59. FR 59 $2 bill from 1917, and it is a mule note. So something that you run into with these is that this has what they call, this is Elliot White, the signatures, but also on the other note you had Burke. Well, those notes had a certain position for the plate number. The plate number for this note should be down here, but they used the wrong plate reverse, so that it's in the wrong place for this bill. So this should not have the Burke reverse, because it does. It makes it a mule note. So you can see here it says John Burke backplate number 313. And that is the number there. So that is a desirable something to have. So that's another one of my better notes about uncirculated 55 for a bill over 100 years old. This note is one that my daughter bought me for my birthday. I had a note picked out that I was interested in at the coin show, at the coin shop, my LCS, and I actually talked to him about it with her there, and then she went to get it, and he talked her into this. So I think she paid a little bit much for it, but it was the thought that counted more, and actually ended up being, she probably paid retail for it. So this is a remainder note, though. So remainder note. Got a choice, Uncirc 58, so not quite into the mint state area. But these are notes that they had in the vault that never got, yet 1865. 1865. But these notes never got used. They should have signatures here and here from the bank. And so these notes were never signed. That's right, namaste. These were never signed. Now, if you get them signed, if you get this note with signatured, it's worth a little more. But so that was a note, and it's funny, they don't print the backs on these, so you can see that and think that, well, somebody ran that through their, thank you, Valerie, ran that through their copy machine, but they do look, but they're not. So this was my $100 star note that I had graded, a 1934 series. I got a very fine 30 on that. So I just thought that was a cool bill, and I wanted to protect it. So I sent that on in. Here is my Black Eagle. We have a VF30 for that. So there is the 1899 FR232 Black Eagle. Very fine 30. You can see it has a few folds on it, so that did not keep it from getting a grade. I think that's what I like most about the bills, is that, you don't get them back ungraded. If you send it in, this is one I'm not going to send to be graded, but may show up in an auction one day. I'll need to research it again for quality. I think it's about a fine 12 or fine 12, I think is what I got wrote on the back. It has some staining at the top. I think that's staining and not tape on the holder. Yeah, it's got a little staining at the top, but it is a 1929. This is a national currency, so a bank issued, Bank of New York issued that note. So this is my wood chopper note. I'm super, super excited about it. And it got a very fine too, so we can, kind of compare these two. And both had a very fine designation for the grading. But this one has obvious folds, but this one had like some staining on the back. They're calling it soiling. So they will tell you, if they find issues with the bill, whether it be rust or soiling or whatever, they will put that on the back so that you can see that. But this also has an error on it. It doesn't make this bill more expensive, but the PCBLIC is an error that you find in the motto. And if you look on these notes on the wood chopper, and you look on the motto, so we're going to count down, let me go to my big scope. We're going to count down 6 lines from the top. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see the word public here. I showed this the other day. This may be old information for those that were that were with us. But that P, that C should, you can see that U, well, this U had a break in it. And so it looks like a C. And then there's what the U should look like. But because it has that break, they call it the PCBLIC error. So it's pretty common. There's not extra money there because of that. But I thought it was super cool to get that. And they did that without me prompting them. So they did that without me having to ask for that error to be looked at. I thought that was pretty cool. So this is another silver certificate, Black Eagle, or is it? No, this is one I've already showed. So that's the Leavenworth. That's my other Black Eagle, the one I may sell. So that's pretty much all I have. That's pretty much all I have in bills and things for right now. Martin and I just got back some bills. So Jolly Roger, if you are interested, give me a email, give me a call rather, and we can discuss getting you some bills in to be graded next time I'm sending. I think there was another subscriber that has a really nice bill that's probably worth. Thank you, Scott. I am, like Martin said just a minute ago, we are in a lot of trouble. We are in a lot of trouble, but let's look at a couple of the highlights and then we'll call it a night. I just wanted to highlight some of the, all right, here's one. This is called, this is a silver certificate, a $5 silver certificate. And so I want you to just look at the artwork on that's the freaking front. That is the front of that bill. It is a, an 1896 series silver certificate. And there is the reverse. It has Grant and Sheridan on the reverse. But can you imagine having that bill in some kind of quality? And then here is will be one of my next purchases. They call this is another $5 silver certificate. They call it the Big Chief. So you have, they may say it on here, bust of Tatu Ka-in-Yaka. So there is the name of the Indian chief, if I can get it to focus. Of course, I messed that up big time. Yes, I can. Paper Money of the United States, Scott. That's the book that I'm using. Now, if you're looking for dead on value, it gives you an idea and it helps you identify the bill based on the Friedberg. This is wrote by the people that that started the catalog system called the Friedberg. So this is one of the best books for identifying. This is the 23rd edition, yeah. And there's another note. This one here is called a porthole note. They're kind of pricey, but it has the bust of Abraham Lincoln. Usually those are oval, and I know, Valerie. I agree. Yep, you're right, Namaste. That's why I believe, and it's just my opinion, you know, if you're wanting the upper echelon of notes, you're much better to go to a coin show and yeah, Scott. And that way you can deal a little bit, you know. So that's a porthole, and the next big note is the $10. I thought $10, that's $20 silver certificates. Maybe it wasn't there is a Buffalo note. So here's another. They made a series back in the 1890s called the Educational Series. The Educational Series. And here's an example of a $2 silver certificate that was part of the Educational Series. And that's the front, and then that would be the reverse. Has Robert Fulton and Samuel F.B. Morse. So I guess that's the guy that invented Morse code. So that's kind of cool, but that is one of the educational notes. They have another one that had nudity on it, and so that they actually had such an uproar from the population that they had to pull it. So here's another from the educational series. Martin, this was the one that I was talking about with the lady pointing off into the distance, but it is also a silver certificate. It is 1896 edition, and then look at the back. I think that's George and Martha Washington. George and Martha Washington. You may be right, namaste, on the reverse. Look at the reverse of that thing. So anyway, I have gone far and past my 8 o'clock finish time that I usually like to stick to on the Tuesday night stream. But I'm really happy to share what I'm seeing in the currency. And for those of you that have not dipped your toe into that yet, I believe everybody ought to have at least one piece in their collection. They are expensive, but you can get them for the price of a good Morgan. Put it that way. If you're willing to spend $50 to $150 or so on a Morgan, you can find some of these notes like the Black Eagles and that kind of stuff in decent condition in that price range. So, check into it. Don't be afraid. If you go to a show, make sure to carry your flashlight to help you look for flaws and errors before you buy. If you can, buy graded. That's one of the easy ways to eliminate the uncertainty of buying bills is to go ahead and see and buy and get you one graded. So thank you, J-Dub, and thank you for the bills. I love them too. PTF said he'll stick with coinage and Martin can handle the note. So I guess we're going to call it there. I had a great time tonight. Thanks everybody for helping me entertain an evening with some currency. Not a really great hunt, but we did find one kind of rare star note, so that's always good. And I guess we will just see you guys again. No, we got 2 things to do. Sorry, we got to do 75 likes. We hit 75 likes, and we need to do EOS. So thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. So let me do that. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. We're going to do I'm going to do a slick standing Liberty quarter and a war nickel for 75 likes. And if y'all are okay with it, I'm going to run both of these together. We're going to do the 75 likes and the EOS all at once. We will do a 40%er from Jim Thompson for the 40%er. Jim was nice enough to send me a few 40s to use for giveaways. So we will do one of those for EOS. We'll only do one EOS. And then we will do the 75 likes. So here we go. I'm going to get that started. We're just going to do 75 likes. I'm going to pick 2 winners. So should have done that 2 minutes. Sorry about that. All right, it is running. You got 3 minutes to get in. You'll get a standing Liberty quarter with a little bit of wear, and a war nickel for 75 likes. And you will get a 40%er courtesy of Jim Thompson for the EOS. And thank you guys for the positive feedback on the bills and stuff. As I said, it's really become a passion for me in getting some of this. As much for the history as the collectability as far as value. But as me and Martin were talking, we kind of think that this currency deal could be a good deal down the road. So trying to put some in now while we can. Hey, Foster's fine. Yeah, we come in right at the end, my friend. Did that start? I don't see that I have a giveaway running. All right, let me refresh this page and see if it comes up. Has anybody gotten tickets? Yes, okay, I got 40 people in now. All right, I got you. All right, we got 40 people in. 1590. We are almost to 1,600 subs. That's awesome. Hey, Ron Moss. Did you catch my bill collection, Ron? Kind of getting off the ground there. Netfiend said he was down to 9 Morgans to finish his book, Ron. Yep, thank you, William. Got a minute and 4 seconds. I may come out. I'm not decided for sure yet. It just depends on how things look. But thinking about flying out to Denver in October for the next coin show, Ron, if you're free to have a visit again. Won't be as long a stay, but entertaining that. Oh, 1893S. I can't imagine what that set you back. Can't imagine. 30 seconds to go. You might be right there, Scott Christensen. That is certainly a consideration to think about. You know, certainly a consideration to think about. But I think we're far into the future and seeing that too. But, you know, we collect for the future, right? Isn't that what we do? All right, we're going to pick 2 winners here. Thanks, everybody, for being with us tonight. First up will be 75 Light. We got KJ in Ohio. And I think I've got one still to send you, KJ, so I can bundle up the shipping there. And next up, we got Hartford Junction. So that will do it for tonight. Again, thanks everybody for being here. It was super fun. You guys make this all worthwhile. Without you in the chat every night, I mean, it still amazes me that I can pop on for something that wasn't scheduled very far in advance, and we got 44 people watching. You know, the first 10 minutes, we'll have 20, 30 people in here, and so that says something about you guys and your support of the community and the YouTube channel. It means a lot. Please believe me that it does. So you guys take care. Thank you for all my mods for sticking with me tonight. I hope I didn't keep you up too late. And we will hopefully see you again Saturday morning. I will go and pick up coin. Maybe they'll be circulated. The thing is with the double stack boxes, you never know till you open them. So it is what it is. So you guys be good. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you, brother. And we will see you guys on Saturday.